Oh. 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 So, Skyreat sent over this box. No idea what it is, but I think we're going to go and take a look.
What's in the box?
It's another box.
No! Just throw it all away if you know. No! What's in the fucking box?
It's another box.
Oh, God!
Hi guys, welcome once again. Today we're going to be looking at this FPV case that was kindly sent over to me by Skyreat. Now, this is the hard shell case for all of your DJI FPV gear. So what we'll do is we'll get a close-up view of this and we'll go into detail as to what this case is made out of and all the finer details. So let's get to it, shall we? So as you can see, an overview of this case, you've got space for 5 batteries, you've got space for 2 goggles batteries. At the bottom here, you have space for 2 power adapter cables if you've got 2 charging hubs. This is where your charging hub goes. You've got the space for the remote controller with the sticks on, a space for the motion controller, your goggles, and underneath the goggles, you've also got space for 2 power adapters with an extra charging hub. The goggles fit in on top quite easily. It's very snug, it's very flush. Everything's nice and flush, and also you've got space for the FPV to fit into. That again fits in with the props on. Here you have space for some ND filters, and I have a battery holder for the goggles which I essentially just fit into there. You also have space on the drone to fit it in with the battery inside. So that's an overview of everything that this case fits. The case itself it's built like a tank, I think, to be honest. It's super strong. You've got 4 locking mechanisms here where you do have a lock on each one of them. There's 1 on either side and 2 at the front. Now, with the locking mechanism, you can slide them to lock them and then slide them back to unlock them. another safety mechanism. They won't just pull up, so you have to press down, pull up, press down, and the same on the sides, and then it opens like so. So as you can see here, we've got the case for the FPV. Now, alternatively, I asked myself, what's the purpose of having this case? Now, it's great protection, it's waterproof, and it houses everything that you need for your FPV kit. It's an alternative. Some people like this, other people like bags that you can carry your drone in that are specifically designed for the FPV. These bags that I have aren't specifically designed for the DJI FPV. Now, if I'm going out and I'm not taking the FPV, then this is generally my go-to bag, where I put all my camera gear in. Like this bag fits everything in, including like a Mavic Mini 2, the Air 2, all my camera gears and accessories. Now, if I'm going out where I want to carry all my drones and the FPV, this is generally the bag I would use, and that fits everything in. And it has a purpose, just like this has a purpose. The only problem I find with carrying stuff in a bag is everything isn't as protected as this is because of the foam insert. This is just my lightweight go-to bag that if I want to just carry everything in, I can just flick this over my shoulder. This is also that, but this one fits in all my drones, including the FPV, everything that you see in this case. So you might be asking yourself, why would I need a case like this? You're not wanting to carry this up a mountain. This is something that you can fling in the back of the car if it's going to get thrown about. This is one of the things I asked myself. It does fit the master air screw propellers. Whilst they're fitted on the drone, it does fit those in. The master air screw props are slightly bigger than the stock props, but it still fits it in. Now, as I say, it's got the room for the motion controller, goggles, charging hub, and your remote with the sticks on, props on. You can also leave it on with the arm braces because they're a pain to get off and on, apparently. I don't use them, I don't really want them, so. But this case itself houses everything. The material is absolutely solid. I can't fault it. It's built like a tank. As far as durability goes with this case, the material that it's made out of isn't flimsy plastic. It's good, strong, hard plastic. There's a little bit of flex to it, but it's not something that's brittle and it's going to crack under stress and weight or getting knocked about. Also, you've got the cushioning on the top that is like an egg crate foam, shall we say. Everything's flush. Now, when this case is closed, it does situate on top and just gives it that extra bit of cushioning. It also has padlock holes here, so you can padlock it as well as lock it shut like so, and it stops the kids from getting in there if you want to give it some padlock. It is waterproof. I haven't tested it for how waterproof it is. I'm pushed for time and I don't live near a lake, but it is waterproof. Once again, I asked myself, what are the pros and cons of having a case like this? The pros are, with the foam insert, everything fits perfect. It perfectly fits. You know, there's a little room for give, but there's not too much room that everything's going to get knocked about. It's reliable, hard wearing, durable. Throw it in the back of your car, you can get knocked about. The cons of this case, I can't really find many. Me being OCD, I think that the foam insert could have a little small redesign to maybe house the extra charging hub somewhere where it's easily accessible like this one is. But overall, that's not a deal breaker to me. It's just things are placed, laid out differently. But in comparison to all the other cases that I've seen online, this one houses everything. And what I like about it so much is it's designed for people with 6 batteries. And as we all know, as FPV pilots, one battery doesn't last. It'll last you about 4 or 5 minutes. So we're going to buy more batteries, and obviously there's one on the drone. Skyreat have thought about everything. This I would say is like the pro case for the FPV, because all the other cases I've seen online, there's just something not quite right about it. So the huge pros about this case is the fact that it houses 6 batteries, one on the drone. As an FPV pilot, I don't just want to use 1 or 2 batteries. I'm going to have a few batteries so I can take this equipment out into the field and just spend a bit of time out there flying without worrying that I'm only having 1 battery. So they've designed this case with that in mind. As I say, you've got space for 2 charging hubs, 2 power adapters. You can put the 2 cables under the drone here without any protrusion, without it hindering the movement in and out of the case itself. So overall, this I would say is the pro case, the pro version of all the cases. And I've seen a lot of cases online. I've wanted one of these cases for a long time, but I can't justify the price of some of the other cases by other companies that don't fit everything in that I want, because I personally want to keep everything in one case, and this is what this case does for me. So that's why I like it so much. That's why I'm promoting it. This case as a whole is almost perfect. If there's any slight improvements that I can ask for that Skyreat might pay attention to, there's 2 improvements, and it's only minor, but it's things that I think could be done slightly better. And that is where the propellers fit in on the top here. As snug as it is, I think it's just a bit too snug for the propellers. The propellers, sometimes they lightly graze as you pull it out and put it in. I think a small improvement is to shave about 1 millimetre either side of where the propellers go in, just so it has that slightly wider area for the things to fit into. So it's not just lightly grazing on the props, because to me, I don't want the props being bent and manipulated in that way. So that's one of the only improvements that I can think of that would improve this case and make it the absolute perfect case. After a couple of days, I put this question up onto some of the forums that I'm members of on Facebook. There's loads of people that love this case. There's a small minority that have a few hiccups with it. Now, my only issue with it is these strips. After a couple of days, they came off. They are held on with double-sided tape. Now, it's not a big deal, to be honest, but I think that if you're paying the price for a case, you want everything to be stuck down. Now, for me, I can just hot glue these back on and they'll be stuck there for life. But the fact that they're stuck on with double-sided sticky tape, over time, it's going to come off. And when you're paying good hard-earned money for a case like this, you'd expect them things to be stuck on and secure for a long time. And they came off after a couple of days. So that's my only gripe with this case. Other than that, it's a perfect case for your FPV drone. Also on the front, you've got the handle, which has got like this nice, soft, rubberized grip. So for carrying and portability, it's very, very nice to hold. Doesn't weigh a lot. At the front here, you've got an air release valve that once you close, you lock this down and then it seals it. That's just to keep it waterproof and airtight. So if you do drop it in a puddle or it gets massively wet, it's not going to start leaking water in there. What are my overall thoughts? It's a perfect case. I can't fault it. One of the things I like about this case is that it houses everything that I need all in one, because I don't want to be carrying extra bags for this, extra bags for that. This houses everything. Aside from these minor issues, that it's not a deal breaker, I would say that this is the perfect case for the FPV. far better than any case that I've seen out there on the market today. I highly recommend it. You can find these on Amazon under the Skyreat store. I'll post a link in the description for you to purchase this. If you want to protect your gear and house everything that you take with you, go and buy it. It's brilliant. That's as much as I can say about this case. So that's my overall view on it. I'd just like to take this opportunity to say that if you like the content that what you see on my channel, then please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and also hit the notification button. That will then tell you when a new video has been uploaded. And hitting the like button will help me out massively. Subscribing will also help me out massively, and I do appreciate it. It helps my channel grow, and it helps me to create more content to put out to you guys, because I like to give informative reviews and stuff. As a consumer, I like to be honest about things and convey that over to you as consumers yourselves. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.